Hey everyone, thank you very much. It is the second last keynote of the event, and I know that it's all been a little bit long, so hopefully we can have a bit of a laugh. So yes, I am from Roundtable 21. We are a validator on the Bittensor network. Hey, cool, the button works, that's a good start. So before we really get into what Bittensor is, I should probably mention a little bit about what validating on the darn thing is like. Most of the time, I mean, there's a lot of people in this room who have run validators before. You'd normally go out there and go, okay, you'd give Darius a bit of a buzz there over at Cherry Servers, and you go, oh, I need a new box. 10 minutes later, you're up and running. With Bittensor, it is a little bit different. You do need to call in some compute reinforcements. In total, this is just for our validator. Other validators that are also running on all subnets, there is a couple of them, are running similar sort of equipment. So that's, yes, 968 vCPUs, 1.9 terabytes of VRAM. That is a lot of bloody GPUs. 5.4 terabytes of RAM and 69 terabytes of NVMe. Nice. Right, so as for Bittensor itself, every man and his dog has tried to explain this thing, and every time it takes several hours to do so, so I'm going to try to Eli 5 the hell out of it. It is an incentive network to ducken. It is a multiple stack of different incentive networks all working together through UMA consensus. So the first part of that is the subnets. So this screenshot was from about a week ago when we started, already out of date. There's already new ones. So essentially at the heart of Bittensor, you want to build something cool in AI. It could be an indexer, a pre-trainer, a bunch of waifus, whatever floats your boat. So you want to register a subnet on Bittensor. At the moment, it'll cost you about $1 million worth of tau. That's about 2,000 tau to have to lock up. Bit of a pretty penny. That when you've locked up, it's then your responsibility to write the subnet code that the validators such as myself will run, and the code that your miners will run as well, which they will be ideally being improving on as it goes to build better models and do whatever the hell it is you're trying to do on your subnet. So, as a validator, it is my job to evaluate the output of all of these subnets, which is why when you end up on all of them, that you end up with such a crazy amount of resources. But then on top of the ability for then, as validators, to be looking at all of these different miners and saying who's doing a good job, who's doing a bad job, and how we're going to reward it accordingly, the validators have one other job, and that is to decide who gets the emissions. So which one of those subnets gets how much of the pie each day. So validators go through and they run a command that looks like that, which makes an output that looks like that, and it works out which one of the now 53 subnets, it's up to 64 is the limit, so if you want to get anything done, quick join, then it decides which way all of the rewards go. And so all of the different validators vote, and through UMA consensus, it works out what's going on where. Part of that problem is it means it's about 24 people, a little bit less than that are deciding where everything goes. And if we're going to be decentralizing decentralized AI, first step is to start the decentralization process of deciding where the bloody money goes. So what we've just done is we've launched a little bit of a democracy in action process where people who delegate or stake their tau with us, in addition to earning a very nice APY, which is always lovely. So to the restake guys who were just talking before, but you don't actually need to do that here, just auto compounds, lovely. Where you can go through and decide which one of the different subnets you think should actually be getting the emissions. And so similar to what you might see in more of a Cosmos style voting process, where sorry about that, lads. The more that you've got staked, the stronger that your vote is. And then for the balance of the vote, that's what we as the validator operator are then trying to evaluate who goes where. Because the majority of the votes, yeah, they tend to be for themselves. So it's important to have everyone that has any tau. It is your right to vote. But then as a validator operator, it is our duty to vote. So if you want to try that out, head over to staking.roundtable21.com. Next thing is trying to bring more developers in. Developers. Don't worry, I won't start bouncing or singing. So for that, we have partnered with our mates over at General Tau Ventures and Contango Digital to help them scale their incubator program. So if anyone here has a team and wants to launch a subnet, you're trying to figure out exactly what to do, let me know, and I can help put you in contact with the people of what to do next. I believe they're also doing a raise as well, so a little birdie told me. If you're interested in that, give me a shout. Next thing, of course, everyone can try and run a validator, but most of these damn things, you end up going, hey, it's all on AWS. Or as we found with Solana a couple of years ago over on Hetzner, where 30% of the network was on Hetzner, and then one day they just decided, no. Then a huge chunk of the network went down. We decided, okay, what can we do about that? What can we do as a validator that's different? How can we make decentralized AI decentralized from a hardware perspective? And for that, we decided to build a geographically and geopolitically distributed data center that is an underground, indestructible Bittensor validator bunker in, let's just say, rural Eastern Europe, somewhere very nice. Now, to build an underground apocalypse-proof bunker, you first must start with a hole, a very, very big hole. Here's one wild communist for scale. Then, of course, you add concrete. Lots and lots of concrete. Yes, those are the walls. A lot of concrete. There's an old Russian saying, if it can't take a Russian tank shell to the face, you haven't got enough concrete. Oops. Then, of course, next you add 80 kilowatt generator, 120 kilowatt transformers, some very, very big high voltage lines, 10,000 volts of do not touch that. And of course here, for whatever reason, we are also digging a 670-foot deep well for our own water source. I don't quite know when we became preppers, but them's the breaks. Next, of course, you surround the entire thing by a 15-foot reinforced concrete brick wall on a 6 to 8 foot deep base, snow-capped in the winter, defended by warrior cows in the spring. And of course, you finally get to come inside of the whole thing. You head downstairs through outer bunker door number 1, outer door bunker number 2, and outer door bunker number 3. Bunker door number 3. Of course, this part of the world, it gets very bloody cold in the middle of winter. So of course, one needs a little bedroom, bathroom, and kitchenette to keep themselves alive. Oh, there's kitchenette. And then a tech bay work area to actually build the darn servers in the first place. When we get inside, 80 kilowatts worth of UPS there and batteries. Again, another wild communist for scale. He did protest the use of this photo and said, no, don't judge me. I'm only using a Windows PC because I didn't have my dongles for my Mac. And then, of course, you leave him to set up all the server racks whilst you take photos. And, of course, because there's a bunch of Russians in the middle of nowhere, you have to add yourself a steam room, a sauna, and a dipping pool, because what else do you do when it's negative 20 in the morning? So, that is the basis of what you can do if you want to build a validator that is a little bit different. Make sure that when everything is decentralized, that it means not just decentralizing stake, not just decentralizing nodes, but decentralizing all of that beautiful, beautiful compute as well. So, if you want to know any more about Bittensor, I could go into it for hours. If you ask me, I will go into it for hours. You have been warned. Please feel free to approach me. If you'd like to know any more about GTV and how to get involved in what's going on there, absolutely once as well. And yeah, that's a lot of compute. Thank you very much. And I think that's pretty much everything and our time.